Hey guys, day two here in St. Petersburg, Russia. Here with my lovely wife, Kristen. And so we just finished up our second day, and tell them where we went today.
We went to a Russian art museum.
We did. We went to a Russian art museum. And there at the Russian art museum, we saw art that ranged in variety from art about Jesus and the saints of the Bible and saints of Russia and all of Europe, all the way to interpretive art. And in between was art that was painted of various Russian leaders and told us some Russian history. And Pavel gave us great insight into Russian history. But there was one thing that Kristen picked up on that Pavel said that I thought was really unique, and it was.
He told us that there wasn't any art in Russia until the believers started painting. So I thought that was cool. The creativity came out with the work of the Lord. So I thought that was cool. Another thing that he pointed out was that the Russians couldn't really speak and couldn't really write, and so the way that they presented the gospel to people was actually through the paintings. So that was kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the pictures would have like the main painting in the center, and then around the top and around the side, it would have other little pictures that would tell the complete story of what was going on there. It would give like different insights into the picture. So it was really cool. And then the other thing that we found out is when we were here in September, Clint told us that the only major reproducing tool that they had was to reproduce or to create disciples through the drug rehab centers. Today, when we got here, or when we met with Clint, he was telling us that they now have a second viable strategy here in St. Petersburg, Russia, to reach Russians, and that it's actually going very well. And so they have a Bible study that's going on Friday nights, and so actually we went to it tonight. And so there tonight, there was about 70, maybe 70, 75 Russians mixed between male and female that was meeting at Central Baptist, and they were doing Bible study. And so it was very, very, very cool. And then today, Kristen was talking with Clint, and Clint was letting her in on some Russian culture. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about what you heard today.
Yeah, Clint was telling me today mainly about the females here that by the age of 20, they've probably had an average of about 8 abortions already. So that was something that really hit hard for me and broke my heart. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be praying about, and I would ask that you guys start praying about that as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess today some bright spots is that we really got some insight to Russian history and getting to know the Russian people a little better. We got to see some of the things that they'd been through with some of the czars, some of the dictators with Stalin and Lenin, and some of the presidents and things of that nature. And so Pavel gave us a really good insight into Russian history. It was really interesting, and so that was good. And then we got to go see this Bible study, and then so I guess today the main prayer request is just pray, number one, that this viable strategy that they found to reproduce here in St. Petersburg will continue to be successful, and disciples will be made through this strategy. The second thing is we ask that you pray that God would curb this abortion rate in St. Petersburg, Russia. It's just absolutely a foothold that Satan has on the population of St. Petersburg, Russia. So we're asking that you pray about that. Then we also ask that you pray for Clint Stewart. Clint was just sharing with us today that he's just been going through some tough times spiritually. I think some of that might be, of course, emotionally as well. The work here in Russia is very hard, and so we ask that you pray for our missionaries. Tonight's missionaries that we ask you to pray for is Clint Stewart and his wife Janet. They also have 4 kids. One of which is in the States right now in Beaumont, Texas, in college. His name is Ethan. They also have a daughter who is a junior in high school. Her name is Emily. And then they have 2 other young ones. Peter, we call him Peter the Great. He is, I think he's like 10 or 11, something like that. I don't know. Peter, if you see this video, yeah, Peter, if you see this video, I'm sorry. Gut punch. And then they have Mary Catherine the Great, who is a kindergartner. And she is a ball of energy. We call her Mary Catherine the great. And so she is an amazing little girl. We just ask that you pray for this family. So, all right, guys, we will check in later. We love you. Check out the blog on www.the2stpetes.com, and also check out some really cool pictures that we're going to put up. So we'll holler at you later. See ya!